Well, hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation community. And welcome to another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site 42, as well as Head Containment Specialist. And as we have done for 6 months and change and running on a daily successful streak, I open my office doors to you once a day for 30 minutes to 3 hours, depending on the day, depending on the schedule, to answer your burning queries about the inner workings of the SCP Foundation. Now, whether it's questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff that contains them, the groups of interest who get kind of touchy about the whole containing thing, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom, I am here for the next 2 hours. 2 hours, then I have things to get to. So, for 2 hours, we have a little bit of a shortened office hours, but it's still an office hours, and it's, there, now I can see you guys better. Now, it may be a soft 2 hours, maybe not a hard 2 hours. But before we begin, let me start with a little housekeeping. Now, first piece of housekeeping, I don't know if you all have noticed, but your usernames aren't showing up anymore. All I see are @ symbols for your names. Now, YouTube has had this as a glitch previously, but it is possible that this might be an update and not a glitch. And so I'm looking at all of your ats, and I'm gonna do my best with your names. If your names are and profile pictures are recognizable to me, I will keep my fingers crossed that I can keep you all straight. But also, some of you I might not recognize, and I apologize because YouTube is messing with us again. So, don't look at my 57-W10. I'm self-conscious about it. Damn it, Frogman. Not bad. Not bad. So, oh dear God, here we go at the beginning. Hello, Eggs Benedict. Congratulations on your exceptional punctuality, and congratulations for being our first chatter of the day. Meanwhile, Amber, Billy the Go-Goat, Rat, Chazior, Eric, Cool Man Fight, Dr. Puppeteer, Babuffy, Kiara, Junior Researcher Sally, Silent Follower, AA Blackwood, Foxbacks & Co., Dr. Frogman, everyone whomst I have just named. Thank you all for your exceptional punctuality. Zerdrin, you as well. And thank you as well for being members of Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Meanwhile, let's say the Groza Man, Dan, Summers, Building Block, and Luke. Welcome to Site 42's chat today. Thank you for being punctual, and thank you for being here just for being you. Where was that? Dr. Sherman, it's pronounced Weo. Weo. All of the Kung Pao fans in the chat just had a seizure because someone recognized that movie. Also, Random Dude and Matthias, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Zerdrin, yes, thank you for changing your @ symbol to match your display name. It makes my life a lot easier when YouTube is screwing us like this. Kiara is Dark Duality. I knew I recognized that profile picture. I will do my best. It's also, I'm here kind of in the morning, at least what a researcher and dance teacher's morning is. So I'm a bit tired and loopy this morning. So, okay, we've got a bunch of people coming in. None of your names are the same. This is going to be such a fun stream. Thank you, YouTube, for making my life so easy. Chazior, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Pardon. Make sure to grab yourself, get some coffee at the commissary, man. It's going to be a day. You always hum the same song at the beginning. What is that song? It is the theme song to the Disney animated television show, Gravity Falls. Very well in the vibes of the SCP Foundation verse. Grozaman, you are always allowed to TikTok Dr. Sherman duets. You're always allowed to do that. Scarlett, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cup of tea on your way past the commissary. Hi, Dr. Sherman, doing amazing. What about you? As I said, I'm doing all right, a little bit woozy and tired, but we'll get by. We'll get by. Chazior, thank you for donating again. Also, sorry for missing the meetings. SCP-999 put me in medical. We lost a ballistic shield and got my arm shattered. From tickling? That's peculiar, to say the least. Dr. Puppeteer, thank you for your 2-month member message as level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and your service. I've risen from the dead. How are y'all? Well, I hope you all are doing better than I am. Always, because then you're doing pretty well. Because I'm usually doing pretty well, so I hope you're doing pretty well too. Cool Man Fight, thank you for your 2-month membership as a Mobile Task Force Captain. We appreciate your membership and your service. Hello, Dr. Sherman. Can you remember my profile pic? And I found the Chaos Insurgent who wants to turn you into Spider using Plan 42. A Snyder, actually. We must move it. Yeah, get it? We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Also, your name is still Cool Man Fight, so I can recognize you by that at least. Blake, thank you for becoming a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Welcome to staff. Welcome to your promotion. Dr. Cullivan, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some steel-cut oatmeal with berries on your way past the commissary. Dr. Cullivan here. There is a tree that owns itself. I am familiar with the tree that owns itself, and it does scream, which is why I'm not mad at it. Also, yours is the only name, Dr. Cullivan, that's showing up as a regular user handle and doesn't have an @ symbol and isn't changed. Cullivan, did you have something to do with this? Why is yours the only name that looks normal? I've got an eye on you. If this is a funny prank you're playing on the chat, I will have a good laugh. Oh, nope, just got back, boss. And there it is, it's normal again. And normal, I mean bad. Thanks, YouTube. Pinky and Anna, thank you for your 2-month member message as a Mobile Task Force Captain. We appreciate your membership and your service. Hey, it's Pinky and Anna. Well, good to see you guys. Feels, thank you for your 6 months as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. How would the Foundation use Australium from TF2? I don't know what Australium is. I also don't know what it does, so I have to look it up. No, that's not what I'm looking up. Preposterously rare item classification, similar to bot killer weapons. They are unique reskins of specific weapons that only appear in strange quality. Low chance of being awarded, blah, 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 blah. Reflective gold, I like the gold. It's very fancy. Change is purely cosmetic. Killing player adds a golden glow behind its kill icon, but does not convert them into pure Australium statues, unlike the golden wrench sacks and golden frying pan. I don't... Okay, what is it? What does it do, though? Okay, there's the actual material. Discovered in Australia, it increases both intelligence and virility. Outward signs of exposure include increase in muscle mass, love of fighting, heavy drinking, as well as increased growth of facial hair, even in women. Australian can extend life beyond its natural expectancy and even raise the dead. Desk, don't get any ideas about this. The prolonged exposure to Australian, the discovery of Australia is the cause of Australia's rapid technological advancement. Sold in solid bars, the way gold is. Well, honestly, the question is, are there any bad side effects? Everybody wanting to seem to fight, that increased aggression would cause us not to use it. Therefore, we would just lock it in a box, probably. Chazior, thank you for donating again. SCP-999 is overcaffeinated now on 6 10K energy drinks, 1 4 Loco, 3 Monster energy drinks, 1 Red Bull, and 1 5-hour energy. Morphine is not working. Ouch. I assume that much caffeine would actually simply cause 999 to expand to world-ending proportions. So I hope your world is safe. Celio Spring, Conquest, and the Queen Deer. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Somers. Dr. Bob is one of the less bad YouTube animation channels, but I'm still not a huge fan just because the way they simplify the articles is kind of boring to me. But then again, I read the actual stories on the website, and there's a lot more detail and things going on that the animated channels can't cover in their summaries. And so, yeah, that's even the better ones like SCP Explained or Dr. Bob, because they're just lightly detailed summaries. I don't normally like them as much as I like reading the actual articles. Terragal, thanks for stopping by, and hope you have a good stream. Foxpacks & Co., thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Colorado omelet on your way past the commissary. Update, Dr. Sherman, we were able to get to our safe house compounds in rural Latin America. We are currently waiting to make sure the coast is clear before making our way back to base. Yes, please make sure you're not followed. We don't need more of them knowing where our base is right now. Which channel other than yours and Volgan are the best? Mr. Illustrated does some pretty damn fine SCP work, collaborates with Dr. Sumerian, another YouTuber of the SCP Persuasion and a friend of the channel. You can always trust in the Exploring series' SCP explanations as well. And of course, Radiger. Radiger has to be on the list of good SCP YouTubers. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. Me and my team will plan 42 to a safe location inside active Volcaner on Iceland. And what does my profile picture looks like to you? It looks like water between two cliffs. Scarlett, thank you for donating again. Hello again, I missed a bit because I was being questioned for no particular reason. Also, hey, Desk, I'm now sipping tea, prefer coffee, and chilling. Yeah, but if you overdo on coffee, then you end up destroying the world like 999 does. So let's simmer with some tea for a bit. Cullivan, thank you for donating again. Also, your name's normal in your donos, but it's not normal in the chat. This is very confusing. I just came back to check on everybody. I'm going back to the blood labs to see what they can tell me. Update tomorrow. Well, fingers crossed. Okay. Give me a second to breathe. That was a very quick opening. There's a lot going on with the new names And, whew. Okay, everyone. Today's stream subject has a content warning. We are about to talk about some highly gross shit of adult content warning persuasions. There will be sex. There will be violence discussed. There will be violent sex discussed. There will be a lot of bodily fluids. So if you are not okay hearing about these topics, you should leave this stream and come back in about 5 to 10 minutes, because then we'll just be doing standard Q&A until the end of stream. But today's subject is about today's anthology article. Today's anthology article, which is of the Kabbalic rankings that we're dealing here, Chod, and it is called My Mother, My Lover, and My Golden Calf by author Zexnon Kors. It is SCP-9770. The opening content warnings are for explicit depiction of sexual acts, features non-consensual sexual acts, graphic depiction of blood, gore, and mutilation of body parts, description of severe mistreatment of children, discussions of bestiality along with psychological horror not appropriate for underage individuals. You have been warned if you continue past this point. So, SCP-9770 is the story of the son of Marshall Carter and Dark. And the life you live when you have more money than gods and very, very, very neglectful parents. And so we have a rich playboy story that tells about this child, Chrysophilus? Chrysophilus is his name, I believe. Let me double check to be sure, because it's a weird name. Is it Christophilus? No, it's Chrysophilus. I was right the first time. And so Chrysophilus has the world on a string, richer than anyone, except for the other members of Marshall Carter and Dark and their families. And so what we are treated to here is what a miserable life this rich kid is living. Oh no, they don't nickname Evil Greasy John. They don't nickname Chrysophilus Chris. They call him Skitter, a mispronunciation of his middle name, Scooter. This is Chrysophilus Scooter Marshall, otherwise known as Skitter. Now, here in this article, you are dealing with, I'd say, about 60 to 70% child abuse and monologues of rich kids who have nothing better to do with themselves. There's a demon possessing this rich person, as there are demons possessing a lot of rich people. That's how they got the money. And Skitter here, well, first of all, let me take a look. Let me just give you a quick scan of the article, because it is, on its face, very pretty. Now, this warning at the beginning is doing a lot of heavy lifting, because the thing here is that this article has not a single shred of SCP format, basically. This is a tale by any other name, as some may complain, although I'm not a big deal about breaking format. I like a good format screw. So here is the gilded cage you live in when you're too rich and you have nothing better to do with your life. Here's some inner monologues. We're reading this kid's memories. Here is some abstract wealth hoarding greed imagery. And here is the actual SCP-9770. 9770 is this entity, this golden calf that has lodged itself in this person's heart cavity. And so the entity is trying to get our boy Skitter to let him into the universe so he can end the world. But the Skitter doesn't really take to it. And we see arguments, we see memories of their abuse at the hands of their parents. We see all sorts of conversations they went through. Don't get any ideas. But there's a couple things I want to highlight because I'm still scrolling. This thing is 29,000 plus words. This is so long. Ignore that. You didn't see that, although I did warn you about it. We're still going. That part is particularly cool right at the end. Right at the end, that section is hype or a moments times infinity. Like I was having a hard time reading this article because I don't like long articles very much. But oh boy, when I got to that part, the grand finale, that did make it worth it. That was pretty sick. They're dancing. And what's that? What's that? No, no, no. Move on. Okay. There is your format sneak preview. But a couple, what I'm going to call dramatic highlights for you. And as I said, content warning. At one point, I said 29,000 words, Amber, not 290,000 words. I said 29,000. Dark duality. At least in this universe, Marshall is not a wondertainment. But a couple highlights here is that this kid, Skitter, you know, he's bored. He has nothing going in his life. And so what's he going to do except spend money on frivolous things? And so some of the things that he purchased is he purchased his 100th Bugatti. Oh, he had 90 Bugattis, but he had to get 10 more to make it 100 Bugattis. And that's just the beginning. Because this entity, this cow, which I might point out is not Skitter's heart, but it is attached to Skitter's heart. It has massive reality bending abilities. And what does it use it for to help Skitter? It changes reality so he has an infinite penthouse where he can keep all his rich people stuff. So besides 100 Bugattis, we have several shopping lists put in this article so you can see how throughout the story, Skitter is trying to numb the pain of living by spending extravagant amounts of money. As we don't at all see in real life, not an allegory at all. So, okay, this person's first set of auctions purchases Nadia the Secret of Blue Water animation cell for £302. Purchases a anime cell from Perfect Blue number 27 for 11,827 British pounds. Buys a collab between the Good Smile Company and Anderson Robotics collab Overlord Series Albedo wedding dress figure for £287,000. Buys a 24 karat gold 50.5 centimeter Edward Elric figurine, stand not included, for 827,000 British pounds. And that's just the first shopping list, because it gets weirder. Our rich weeaboo friend purchases production cells from Vampire Hunter D, End of Evangelion, Akira. But then, a first edition Anderson Robotics Sailor Moon collaboration Hovertronic for £440,000. A Anderson Robotics Interstella 555 Android set for £1.2 million. Which, okay, you know what? I do enjoy Interstella 5555. I don't think there are enough fives there. Wait a minute. Aren't there 4 5s? Interstella 5555. Oh, I am so adding that to my typos list on this article. Sidebar, a funny thing that's been happening is every time I read the articles, I find at least one typo for the anthology articles. Although I found only one of them, this time there is a second typo. A second typo has hit the timeline. And edit my own comments. Correction. Found a second typo. It's Interstella 5555, not Interstella 555. Cool. Correction made. Nerd points taken. So, where was I? Oh yes, the things this person has bought. The things this person has bought. That's it. I want a cow in my heart if it can give me infinite house and money. It can't give you infinite money. It only gives you infinite house. This person has infinite money from being a child of Marshall Carter and Dark. All right, so where was I? Okay, yes. Next up, on the next list of artifacts this person buys, artifacts I use loosely. A FAE-bound Fabergé egg. A Marcel Donato striptease statue. A life-size Beidou Genshin Impact Amethyst android with silicone lips and vaginal area. A 24-pack of Succubi panties, stained, for 2.3 million British pounds. But that's not the worst of it. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. An original Golden Boy animation cell for 1,200, only 1,200 pounds. By the way, if you are an adult and you haven't seen the anime Golden Boy, classic, raunchy, terrible anime there, in the best way. God. Woof. Early days of anime, man. Good stuff, though. Golden Boy's a classic. If you're not familiar with Golden Boy's swimming scene, that is not a sexual scene, but Golden Boy's swimming scene is one of the funniest goddamn things I've ever seen. Here is the title of the stream. Our friend Skitter here purchased a 12 set of fairy-made robots with real FAE souls inside. A haunted Baldur's Gate... Oh, sorry. That fairy-made robot set was only £126,000. Skitter bought a haunted Baldur's Gate 2 copy guaranteed to isekai you instantly for 700,000 British pounds. A book titled How to Clean Dried Jizz Off Enchanted Figurines Without Washing the Magic Away with Soap, a Guide for Degenerate Idiots, for for £1 million. £1 million for that book. And an undisclosed amount of Marilyn Monroe's bathwater for just shy of a cool 3 million British pounds. Sorry, I wasn't done. There's another list of purchases. A real slime girl skin fleshlight for just shy of £1 million British pounds. Jade Fairy breast milk, 12 bottle count. A 12 count Golden Shower Mega Ultra Orgy Cat Girl tickets, pheromone spray services included, for £4.5 million. And finally, this is the last thing on the list. It has to be. No, it's not. It's not. No. Oh. Okay. This is less bad, though. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. All right, so the last thing that's horrible. The last thing that's horrible on the list is Madam Bitchhound's Dog Girl Ear Fucking Extravaganza service ticket, max 3 girls included. Footnote, you know what they say, if there's a hole, there's a way. And this was for 9,69,69.69 pounds. Nice, nice, nice. Now, at the point, now that is just the fucking window dressing, okay? That's just the window dressing of the fucked up life that this person is going through and what they are trying to use to ease the pain of their fucked up life. But I will have you, in slight spoilers, learn there's a turning point. It actually turns around for this kid. Meets a nice Goyle. The purchase set after meeting the nice Goyle has a hypersonic FV head screwdriver, which cost £1 million, but it's just a screwdriver. It's just a screwdriver. A microprocessor installation manual, a Prometheus Labs Mario Collaborative NES cartridge, and a fairy silk V-neck hemmed sleeveless dress, color purple. And so it does turn around for this kid. Or at least somewhat turns around for this kid. Because this is the SCP Foundation. Nothing really goes great for us. And I tell you what, I'm not even going to tell you what it says. But when this kid was a child, following Marshall around on his business dealings, his father, Marshall, had a business dealing with a demon. And the demon talked about its sexual proclivities with Marshall just as a part of the conversation and sales pitch. And you know, that probably traumatized this poor kid pretty badly. This poor kid probably had some pretty fucked up things going through their head, having listened to that as a child And that's just one instance, one memory of the fucked up shit this kid went through. If you get to reading this, watch out for that demon interview. Because what the demon and the succubi are up to is fucked up. It's fucked up, I'll say. And it's all very graphic. These memories, this demon pulled no punches. And overall, all of this is said. I upvoted this article. It's a good article. It's just graphic and gratuitous, and you gotta be ready for that. It all makes sense in context, but when I say it out of context, it does sound fucking crazy. See, I work the anime convention circuit. I have seen these weebs in real life. I know what they are, what they're capable of, what made them the way they are. And so I see how they're coping with their lives, and I get it. I know what you're going through, even if I'm hashtag annoyed in asexual the whole time. Wait, but what does the gore have to do with it? Dr. Evil Greasy John? The demon interview. The demon interview is where the gore meets all of the perverted stuff in a fucked up sandwich. Give me a second. I just need... This song is perfect for a 1,000 long stare. Give me one moment. So, I promise this is a good article, but it has so much that is very funny out of context. And so this is your amuse-bouche to a very in-depth story of trauma, of the way family fucks you up, the way money really fucks you up. Because when you can just spend seemingly infinite amounts of money to try and cure what ails you, but that sickness of soul, it's not going to solve anything. Money can't buy you that hole in your heart being filled. Right, Elon? Sorry, what was that? Okay, now we are done talking about SCP-9770. The section on 9770 is finished. I am coming back to and refreshing the chat. At which point, I will first catch up with all the donos, and then we will be on to regular chat for the next hour and change. But before I do the donos, this is important. Where was it? I don't want to be in this organization anymore. Hey, E-Washer, we're the people who contain the anomaly here, okay? We helped fix things, I'll have you know. So don't blame the foundation. Furthermore, I think you also asked the question, how do you make your own SCP or something like that? I want to write my own SCP, but I'm scared to put it out in the world. E-Washer, let me tell you something that's going to change your life from an old man. Fear of the unknown can be justified. But fear of the unknown and things you haven't done before goes away pretty quick once you've actually done it. And so if you can push yourself to do it one time, you'll find out it's not nearly as bad as thinking about it beforehand was. And then that anxiety will wash away and you will be someone who have done it and you'll be able to do it more. Trust me, when I started doing these daily streams on the channel, I was like, Garam, there's 1 million people subscribed to my channel and I'm just gonna go live every day and just riff? I had anxiety, man. My heart was stressing out. But then I hit that play button and here we are. You can do it. You push your way through that fog and it's going to be better on the other side. Now, checking in on the donos. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. It's snow on the ground outside my front door. Don't trust that. It's not snow season yet, unless you're in a snowier area than I am. But probably not. Be suspicious of the snow. Chazior, thank you for donating again. Dr. Cullivan, do you know about my blood samples? Did SCP Redacted spread to my blood? I think that's why morphine is not working. Is Cullivan still here? I'm not sure. Scarlet, thank you for donating again. I did no such thing from being over-caffeinated, I think. I don't know, someone keeps putting amnestics into my coffee. I also wrote a story, not SCP related. Congratulations on writing! I love more art being in the world. Keep it up. Blake, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Get yourself a nice sacrificial lamb on your way past the commissary. The Eldritch deity's back and saying, hi, we are also causing shenanigans. Oh, the shenaniganery. All over. Oh, brother. Scarlet, thank you for donating again. I'm back. Is it safe now? Well, after this point, yes. Dylan, thank you for your first donation today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cruller on your way past the commissary. Which dog breed loves living in the Big Apple? A New Yorkie. Hey, not too bad. Not too bad. The Greatest Noob, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself an apple on your way past the commissary. A big one if you want. You need time with 999 with supervision. You know what you did. What are you talking about? I am confused and enraged by your accusation. Watch yourself. Shadowless, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a churro on your way past the commissary. And Desk moderated your message. I'm going to let you know because any mention of the Dr. Bright character at Site 42 is a deskable offense. Because of the actions of that author, alleged and well proven, either or, that character has been straight up deleted from most of the fandom. It is fair you didn't know that because the off-site community really doesn't get the drama that comes up on the website very often. But here at Site 42, we're doing our best to alert people. Dr. Bright is banned from the facility. Desk is willing to ask another question on your behalf if you would like. And so talk to the moderator Desk to get that in. Meanwhile, if you want more information on the things I have just mentioned, you can go to a video on this channel called The Last Death of Dr. Jack Bright. It is on this channel. It has a quick summary of the situation. And it also has links to more in-detail videos by friend of the channel, Dr. Sumerian, if you want the fuller intel. Chazior, thank you for donating again. SCP-999 is currently a blender. That is not possible. 999 doesn't have blades or a glass vase with which to hold liquids. You are speaking crazy talk right now. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. Sherman, if you're old, I'm even older. Well, I mean, you know, in internet creator terms, I am in the Matt Pat, Hank Green, elder millennial state of life. So, by YouTube terms, I'm a grandparent. But, not by actual life, I understand that. Amen. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. The Greatest Noob, thank you for donating again. Downtown Portland is an SCP. I don't think you are correct about that. Now, 3 Portlands is an SCP, but I don't believe 3 Portlands includes downtown Portland. 3 Portland, history, file, topology, geography, and... No, 3 Portlands is a pocket universe / city state. It has nothing, it's not downtown Portland. You need to get your Portlands straightened out there. Chazior, thank you for donating again to clarify that SCP-999 is metaphorically a blender? In what way? I do not know it of... Is it just spinning around in a circle? Is that what you're saying? It's just doing little spins? Is it spinning real fast? Is that what you're saying? Help me to help you. Blake, thank you for donating again. The kind of shenanigans I'm committing are mimetic. Well, shenanigans usually are based on memes, so that happens. The Greatest Noob, thank you for donating again. Can I have another apple? This one has fingers. Well, that's unsettling. Yeah, get another one. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, the snow in Iceland is talking to me and my team, trying to convince us to hand over Plan 42 to it. Please send back up to our location. Well, how about we evac you? Yeah, let's just listen. Iceland? Is it snowing in Iceland? I mean, it's almost snowing weather, but where are you that it's snowing? Dude, that place is kind of cold. Can we just get a new Cool Man Fight? No, let's just... All right, sneak out the back away from the talking snow, and we will have you a pickup on your way. Chazior, thank you for donating again. 999 is fucking dangerous, bouncing around like crazy with enough power to break our ballistic shield and basically shatter my arm. Don't go there now. Well, yeah, you gave it infinite energy drinks like a dumbass. How about you don't do that next time? How do you get the gender switching stone away from 049? He found it again. Well, first of all, SCP-049 is an it, not a he, not a she. Doesn't matter what the gender switching stone is done. It is an anomaly, therefore it is an object, not a person. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. Furthermore, 049 is allowed to use the gender switching stone. Right now we have an uneasy truce, an agreement, and so just don't worry about it. Is there an SCP that is actually normal? Well, if it were, it would not be an SCP, and that would make it explained. Has anyone on your team investigated whether or not Brawlhalla is an SCP? Well, intern Norwich, we do have several afterlives in containment, although the Brawlhalla one is rarely explored, especially the stench of that place. I mean, right? Oof. Jazzior, thank you for donating again. I did not give it energy drinks. I was trying to stop people from giving the energy drinks. Taping a fake photo of 096 the door did a trick. Well, thank you for your service then. What type of channel is this? I came across you on my FYP Reels. Well, hello. Site42 is your #1 stop for answers about the inner workings of the SCP Foundation. If you're unfamiliar, the SCP Foundation is a creative writing community and fandom based around a secret organization that hides magic and monsters from the general public. I am Dr. Theron Sherman, site director of Site42 of the SCP Foundation, and I make videos about the Foundation, answer questions about the Foundation, and stream about the Foundation. And so welcome aboard. Is the 049 and 113 thing like official, or is it an inside joke? It is a Site42 canon, which is non-canon to the SCP Wiki itself. It came about because of how many people like to dress up as sexy plague doctors on TikTok, and I found it funny to act annoyed at them in an SCP research capacity. Who is your barber? That hair is fire, for real, for real. Well, thank you. I have a very good hairstylist here at Site42, and the color schemes, you know, it's a bit faded after a couple months, but we're planning actually next week for the next coloration, which brings me a good reason to talk about our membership goal. Reminder that we are having a membership drive of green name gains here on Site42. And unfortunately for the Containment Hazard Assessment team, our chat, we have had a massive drop in gifted memberships expiring today. And so, right now our current goal is to get to 2,500 green names. That way, we are halfway to our final goal. And at that 2,500 green names, we said we would dye my hair pink next time. Now, unfortunately, the number 1429 from yesterday dropped rapidly to 1,240. We are down to 1,240 memberships because a bunch of gifted memberships expired. So, if we want to get to that 2,500, not only do gifted memberships have to be done in a chunk, that way they all show up at once, but we need more people to become singular members, which is actually a lot easier in the long term than gifting a bunch of memberships. And then yes, at 5,000 members, we are talking about me purchasing a MAID dress and doing the Cat Maid Waifu Dimensions stream, which is a little more horrifying after everything I've read in SCP-9770, to be fair. But we just need to take this one step at a time. Tyler, welcome to Green Nameship here at Site42 as a Mobile Task Force Captain. Welcome to our service. We appreciate your membership and your service in helping us win the battle against the white names. Lanzy Gamer, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a strudel on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I got that report for you on the Mega Clean brand soap. It seems to remove friction from the applied surface for a day or two. That can be very dangerous. Let's make sure to put that in a box that can keep it contained. Chazior, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, why is there two of you? I've just seen you trying to get to 999 with some sort of can in hand. If there are any clones of me running around this site, end them immediately. End them. There are already too many AI clones of me out there and things like that. Let's just nip it in the bud. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. What is my favorite SCP story? Well, I normally do this at the end of stream, kind of a tradition around these parts, but since you donated for it, I'll do it a bit early. My favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5320, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, bit of a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031-5175-5320-8980. Content warning on the last one, it's a rough read. No, stream is not ending. I was just doing my favorite SCPs because someone donated to ask. We'll do it again at the end of stream as well. But that is a good time to tell you as a time check, we are 1 hour into this 2-hour stream. How is streaming about the Foundation keeping it from the public? Well, intern Sakura, you seem to be missing a crucial detail here, which is we're not streaming to the public. Yes, we're streaming on YouTube, but we're in an agreement with YouTube's parent company, Google's parent company, Alphabet. We stream through very secretive back channels of the algorithm only to SCP Foundation staff members such as yourselves. So we're not breaking secrecy. Come on now. Crazy Crafter, an SCP author, has graced our ranks. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you've been doing well. And thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a croissant on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, what's your opinion on SCP-9433? In your opinion, what is its deal? There's been a lot of discussion on this one. 9433, you say? I have not looked into it. At least I don't think so. The new 9000s are popping up all over the... 9433, yeah. That's the designation you said. 9, 4, and double threes. (9433). That's interesting and very short. What is... Item number SCP-9000-ARC. Object class safe. Special contained procedures. In storage at Site 28, SCP-9000-ARC is held in a locked shipping container at all times. The container is filled with biodegradable, loose-fill packing in the event of relocation. Description. SCP-9000-ARC is a concrete statue spray-painted white with Krylon brand paint. It depicts an androgynous nude figure reclining while pointing to the north. Origin. SCP-9000-ARC was purchased from GOI 12, Marshall Carter and Dark Limited, during an auction in Italy. According to GOI 12, it was designed and produced by its defunct in-house art department. Internal records on its production were lost in the intervening years. There's apparently controversy within GOI 12 concerning whether it's a depiction of St. John the Apostle or the Virgin Mary, a composite entity. It was purchased for £447.60. That is the whole article. That was the entire thing. I just read the whole article to you. Quafter, I have not seen this, and I am confused about it, that's to be sure. Floorboards, what the hell is this? SCP-9000-ARC, statue that doesn't move. The original 7669 crosslink and 4476, which I view as possibly being related. What is going on here? Is there more to this article that I'm not seeing? Is there something to... This just leads to Marshall Carter and Dark Hub. This leads to 7669. What's 7669? It's just a site responsible site 28. Paintings of various sizes and mediums. I mean, Quafter, as of right now, my only thought is that this is nothing. And so I'm wondering... AA Blackwood, it does not list an anomaly unless you count the fact that it, quote, points north. And it doesn't move? This is interesting in its lack of complexity. And of course, it's getting all sorts of the link to 7669 initially had me thinking Pattern Screamer, but then I remembered that this article is also a Calderia article. For those who don't know, Calderia is a French GOI about sex workers, brothels, etc. This got me thinking that this is actually some sort of fucked up Pygmalion sex statue that was purposely made to be androgynous as a commodity. Again, I could be entirely off base, but this is my initial thought. So this happens from time to time. See, here's the thing that you guys can't see on stream right now, and I will show you. So let's look at SCP-9770 as my first example. Now, we just talked about this article in depth. It's very, very long. And when you get to the bottom of this very, very long article, you see discussion, because every article has discussion. And discussion for this article is 27 notes. So there are 27 comments about this article. People talking about it, critiquing it, saying what's good or what's bad. People have opinions, and there's 2 pages of opinions on this one. How nice. 2 pages of opinions. SCP-9433 has 210 discussion comments. 210 discussion comments. So now the whole wiki is arguing about this sumbitch right now. That is 10 pages of comments, in case you, yes, Chestafactory, you are correct. 10 pages of comments. All right, if I'm going to have an opinion on this, it can't come from the discussion. And AA Blackwood, arc means archived on the wiki. Usually it means this is a version of a previous article that was deleted. For instance, SCP-049-ARC is the original text of 049 before the rewrite. It was historically relevant enough to keep archived, but there was a rewrite to increase its quality. Yeah, I don't see anything here myself. And if I saw this by itself, I would just glaze over it, not pay attention to it, and I'd probably downvote it because there's nothing to it. And so now later on off stream, I'm going to go through the discussion of this. And I'm going to see what everyone's saying about it because I'm a sucker for site gossip. And I want to know what the arguments are for 2 and 4. But that would take a really long time. We're not doing that on stream. Quafter, thank you for bringing me into this so I can see what's going on. I did not know this was happening. Okay, breathe. That's a lot. I'm going to keep that in the tabs for later reading. All right, save that for later. Sheesh. Charlie 10 Pro, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a... Oh! Random Cookie Boy is Quasi Quafter. Your name also shows up properly in your donations, but not your handle. Cool. Look at the discussion tab, my friend. No problem, lol. There we go. What a ride that is certainly going to be. If you guys want to have an entertaining look into how the SCP Foundation community gets melodramatic into gossip fights over art and personalities, I'm sure you're going to find hype moments and aura in the discussion for SCP-9433. Because let's remember, the funniest thing about the SCP community is it's a community of writers. And that means that when they get mad and they start typing on the internet, it gets real dramatic real fast. One of the funniest things you'll ever see is when some chud shits on SCP and pisses off the wasp nest that is SCP Twitter. You just got in a writing fight with a writing community. You made a bad choice. A wise person knows how to pick their enemies. Oh, Sharkosaurus! They're artists! Of course they're drama queens! There's no other way! You don't get art without it! Okay. Going back to the donations. Charlie 10 Pro, thank you for your first donation. I don't remember if I gave you something from the commissary, so grab a tall, cool glass of melonade on your way past the commissary. If you were an SCP, what would you be and why? Oh, I'm not an SCP. Did someone say I was an SCP? I'm not. I'm not documented on the SCP Wiki. I'm not an SCP. Just clarifying. So, if I could be an SCP and why? If I had to be the SCP, that's the thing. Can I do what I want? Would I still be me? Because then I'd just pick someone like 343 and then do what I want to do. I don't care that I'm not actually God. I'm still a reality bender. That's still pretty awesome. Plus, I'm already friends with Clef, so I won't get shot, which is nice. Unknown Anomaly, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a chorizo burrito on your way past the commissary. Hi, your favorite loose anomaly just performed Heathers the musical as Veronica. Ha, you'll never find me. Our task forces will find you. They will contain you. Perhaps the next musical you perform in will be the containment itself. Did you ever think of that? Be careful. Whoever's username is showing up as YouTube PC, I'm sorry your username is screwed up by YouTube right now. But thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a waffle on your way past the commissary. Bell here, what's your thoughts on SCP-4999, Doctor? That's the, smoking man, right? Well, at least it's not breaching containment by appearing to people who will be able to tell the tale. So at least I give it that much credit. But I give it even more credit if it got in a box and stayed there. We contain anomalies around here. I don't care how nice they are. Aflac, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a order of crab rangoon on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, what is the second strongest anomaly, since the strongest anomaly is clearly set in stone? Well, that would probably be 3812 if it could utilize its power. I mean, Scarlet King is the end of all ending entities, so probably because it can utilize its full power to its whim, it's not limited like 3812 is, probably that one. Blake, thank you for donating again. Here's a virus from the void for your troubles. I wonder if we could experiment on it and use it to cure something very useful to humanity. And then, of course, not show it to them because we wouldn't show them anomalies. Fun. Jacob, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some pork chops on your way past the commissary. I brought some Wagyu with a sweet and savory roasted garlic honey glaze for everyone in the commissary. Ooh, that does sound delightful. Hell yeah. Dark Duality, thank you for, I think this is your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member? I don't know. Today's subject matters have got me pretty loopy. Little out of control today. But grab yourself some of that Wagyu on your way past the commissary. Didn't we once have Deeds meet some Robomains? The Robo anime waifu made prank was genius. That was top tier, I'll tell you what. Mr. Deeds was not ready for it. That is a Site 42 canon event, not a wiki canon event, but we still appreciate it around these parts. I wonder when that video is going to get transferred to YouTube so the YouTube community can enjoy it as much as the rest of us do. Otherwise, you look for Dr. Sherman, Mr. Deeds videos on TikTok, and you'll be able to hunt it down. Tyler, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as becoming a newly minted member. Make sure to grab yourself some kimbap on your way past the commissary. Thoughts on Mallow? It's a fine anomaly. I mean, it's annoying to contain, but at least as a story, it's good. The memification of Mallow in the furry communities has gotten a little erotic for my tastes, but hey, it is what it is. As long as people don't try to come into the Foundation and fraternize with the anomalies. Which doesn't even make sense with Mallow because it's incorporeal. You can't even touch it. Freaks, you know? Affleck, thank you for donating again. Meanwhile's in Australia's Dr. Sherman. Nice try. We decommissioned that meme months ago. Ha ha ha, as long as they don't undecommission it. Whew. What a crazy day. Dr. Sherman, can you explain SCP-53435? That does not exist, seeing as we're only up to the 9,000s right now. That's not an actual anomaly, and I don't know what you're talking about. How did you decommission Meanwhile in Australia? Well, it's in the documentation. The way you Meanwhile in Australia decommissioning is you make a Meanwhile in Australia meme of the Meanwhile in Australia, and then it becomes nullified. I was lied to about Goatman then. Well, true Shade Lord, I hate to admit to you, but those Goatmen do be lying. So do other anomalies similar, like Ulysses B. Donkman. Ulysses B. Donkman, otherwise known as SCP-4768, Ulysses B. Donkman. The Tall Tales of Ulysses B. Donkman. Tells tall tales and evades containment. It's a hassle. All over. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. Meanwhile, I found a cassette with the title The Hanging King's Tragedy with a note to upload it to the internet. Well, don't do that. That is the opposite of what you should do. Do not do that. Jacob, thank you for your incredibly generous second donation of today's stream. Thank you so much for your generosity in helping us keep the lights on here at Site 42. Now, for your exceptional generosity, I'm going to send you back to the commissary this time. But while you're there, you are going to look at the commissary counter, and you're going to stare. And here's the tricky part, though. You've got to stare at the commissary counter right below the cash register for 60 seconds without blinking. Now, the commissary workers are going to try and ask you if you want anything, or they're going to ask why you're staring. What are you doing? Are you all right? Do you need a doctor? Ignore them. Stare at the place right under the cash register at the commissary counter, unblinking, immobile for 60 seconds. If you do that, you will be transported to an extra-dimensional space. And while you're there, I'll tell you this, you will find some fineries that we have managed to abscond with from Marshall Carter and Dark. And today, you have your pick. So thank you very much for your generosity in this matter, and enjoy your rewards. Hey, don't know why, but named didn't change to Ash, but question, totally hypothetical. But if someone were working for the Foundation just so happened to be an anomaly, but is scared to tell anyone what they should do, not that I know any, or I am. So real quick, yeah, the names are being stupid today. So if you go by Ash, then I will try to remember to call you Ash. And yeah, it's hard to remember, just there's so many names and there's so many of you in chat, so I promise I'm doing my best at it. If someone were working for the Foundation just so happened to be an anomaly, but is scared telling anyone what that should they do, not that I know anyone or am. It is intensely important that you get that person to come clean. Anomalies are highly unpredictable, and if we put that staff member in a room with an anomaly that interferes with theirs in an unpredictable manner, it could cause massive destruction and loss of life. We treat staff members who turn out to be anomalies fairly well, in most cases. And so it is the best case scenario for whatever situation. Remember, when I was accused of being anomalous, I came over here willingly and locked up to make sure things were fine. And if it weren't for enemies taking over Steve's mind and raiding our base, things would have been fine. So yes, tell them to turn themselves in. Chester Factory, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member, and thank you for doing it through the Ko-Fi. I appreciate it. The Ko-Fi has less fees than YouTube Super Chat, so we get to keep more of it. So it's appreciated that you went through the effort. I recently, and grab yourself a lemon spritzer on your way past the commissary. I recently got a copy of Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and Kingdom Hearts 2.5. Have you ever played, and if you have, what is your opinion? Also, how would the Foundation contain one chosen by a Keyblade? So, I have only played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I never got into the in-between games. Furthermore, I fell off by the time Kingdom Hearts 3 finally came out. I liked 1 and 2. They were fun games, don't get me wrong. Furthermore, there is a Kingdom Hearts skit by a very vulgar nerdcore rapper / comedian called MC Chris, contrasting Kingdom Hearts and Resident Evil. And later on, you should look up the MC Chris Kingdom Hearts Resident Evil skit. It's so stupid YouTube poop, but it's funny. Meanwhile, a Keyblade is hard to go by, hard to contain because it can open any door. And so, we simply need to put that anomaly in a box with no door. Then they will be well contained. Dr. Sherman, have you ever heard of the Stupendium? Of course I've heard of Stoops. Stoops is excellent. They are fantastic. Their music is hype. The fine print is definitely my favorite. I enjoyed The Outer Worlds as well. And their SCP song that they did is pretty good. No, Desk. Stupendium did an SCP song. MC Chris did a comedy skit about the differences between Resident Evil and Kingdom Hearts. But yes, Stupendium collabed on an SCP song. I don't think they did it by themselves, but they were on it. Let me double checky. Keter Qualities is the name of the song. SCP Wiki Rap, Keter Qualities featuring the Stupendium. I can do a preview, but then it's going to get me copyright struck, so I can't do very much. Yes, so there's Stoops, stooping it up. Yeah, this was 5 years ago. It's way back. So, that's probably why none of us know about it. Well, happy to have educated you. Can you get copyright struck on a Creative Commons song? I'm not even going to fuss with the copyright system right now because it's also between YouTube and the rights holders who are in between songs. Yesterday, I got copyright copyright claimed on Billith's music. And so we're working on the behind the scenes stuff to figure out if it's legitimate and stuff like that. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Did those robo-maids have FAE souls too? You know? They just might have. We might have got them from the same manufacturer, actually. I don't mean that we bought them. We didn't buy them. We abducted them and contained them because they were anomalous. Just so you know. I did not buy a robo-maid with a FAE soul. Thank you. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. How would the Foundation contain an aggressive reality warper with the level of power of SCP-343? Clef. We wouldn't contain it at all. We would shoot it. For more information on things like that, check out Dr. Clef's seminar, Reality Benders and You. There's also an audio reading on this channel done by the veritable Desk. And, woo, there is some good spooks in that seminar. Desk, give us some self-promo in the chat. Post a link to that video. I'll ask you again, how long are you already in the Foundation? I'm already 4 years in and a researcher for 3. Moonston, I've been working for the Foundation for 10 years, moving my way up from archives and records up to containment specialist and now site director. But I would say before that I was an intern for about maybe 1 to 3 years. It's hard to recall, it's been so long, and you know, you only go through so many amnestic cycles before you lose track of time. Author Clef voiced audio background characters in that audio. You never told me that. I didn't know that. What the hell? That's cool. I did not know Author Clef was a voice actor on my channel. Shows how well I've got control of my channel, geez. Put the indestructible reptile in the back rooms easy. Intern book, that is not possible. Or, I should say, not a good idea. You see, SCP-682 is functionally immortal. And the back rooms, you can get into it, and you can get out of it. It's hard to get out of, but it is possible to get out of it. And that means that there is a statistical certainty that an immortal entity will find an exit eventually, and then it will be out of containment. So no, we are going to instead keep it in its box where it belongs. Hey, Dr. Sherm B. Oh, no, you're all on that again. I want to write a story on the wiki. How do I do so? Ash, you want to go to the front page of the SCP Wiki, and in the top left corner of the sidebar, you're going to see a section called Getting Started. It includes the guide for newcomers, join the site, contribute, frequently asked questions, and Universe Hub. All the intel you need is in those documents. So get to reading, make your way. What do your superiors say about you making those videos like the 05? Well, intern Greenleaf, they commissioned it. They put me in charge of records and archives. They put me in charge of making these videos to do trainings for people, briefings, hypothetical scenarios that we could not get into trouble with if we knew what to do ahead of time, broadcasting information so the Foundation staff members are more well informed. All of this is in line with things. Volgan made the seminar audio too. Oh, I'm sure he did. Yeah, it's a very popular story on the wiki with a lot of good audio moments. In fact, it would be really fun to probably do that in IRL, because you could do some real fun things with one room of people freaking out and a Dr. Clef laughing maniacally in the corner. Honestly, that would be a good short film. Someone should make the live-action Reality Benders and You seminar, because you would only need one set. You just need the room. And you would need, you'd only need the room, a cast of characters, a table of bagels and coffee. Dark Duality, don't take Death saying Volgan sucks that seriously. It's only because it's in competition with his. Mostly joking. Meanwhile, so last night I was going to bed, right? I was lying down, going back to bed, and then I had a rush of inspiration. You see, one of the SCP short films I want to make eventually, I want it to be a SCP-106 short film, and I want it to be themed like the movie Aliens. You know, you got this hunter that you rarely see, but it's got dripping acid and it's coming from the ceiling and it's doing all sorts of weird stuff. But yesterday I had some inspiration of some scenes and some shots that I would want to be in such a film. And honestly, the thing is, the shots that I want to do with 106 that I came up with last night are very different than the Aliens theme, because the shots I thought of last night are more Sam Raimi, frenetic camera work, and violence type scenes. What I want to see is SCP-106. I want to see someone in a room looking around with their gun, a Mobile Task Force member, and then 106's face starts coming out of the acid next to the wall next to him, and then smiles, before 106 lunges out, puts his hand on the guy's face, which starts to melt because acid, and then throws the guy's head on the ground while running, dragging the back of the guy's skull against the ground until tossing the guy at a group of other Mobile Task Force guys, knocking them all over. In another scene, 106 is facing a room, a hallway of Mobile Task Force guys who are aiming down and shooting at him. And 106 pops into the floor and, like Jeff the Land Shark, floats over in the floor to them, and underneath each of them dissolves the ground so they all end up stuck in puddles of acid, their feet dissolving as they scream. And then the last guy in the row, who is so scared, and he's like, and then 106 comes out of the floor, does a full standing vertical stand up behind him, and you just see 106's face smiling behind this guy's back over his shoulder before you through the guy's back and pull him through the portal into the pocket dimension. 106 can be a spooky aliens monster. It can also be a Sam Raimi crazy go nuts combatant. And I want them both. I can't put both of them in the same movie. Or can I? Either way, I have more 106 movie ideas. I want it. I want it. We need to make Site 42 grow so I can hire a cast and a group and make this. I am glad you like the sounds of my ideas on storyboard mental word vomit. Because those of you who aren't familiar with my other idea, the alien idea, oh! Of course they can go together! My original SCP movie idea for 106, short film anyways, opens with a scene of just like Cabin in the Woods. You got a bunch of scientists doing just daily work, jibber-jabbering, making jokes about their work. And then you hear the containment breach alarm sound, and 106 has breached. Everyone's freaking out. So this is the action scene that happens where 106 is escaping the facility, fighting the Mobile Task Force guys, while you cut back and forth to a couple security guys bringing a D-Class to the femur breaker. They're carrying the D-Class down a hall, and he's like, where am I going? Where am I going? And then they get to the femur breaker, and he goes, oh, hell no! And he fights off the guys. And then by the time they finally get him into the femur breaker, 106 is gone. And so that's the opening of the film, and that could be cutting back and forth between the D-Class being dragged and the action scene I just dictated with the Evil Dead choreography. And then to finish, we then transfer into the quieter hunting the teenagers in the mental asylum like I had in the original pitch. Yes, we can do it all! We can do it all. And yes, whoever asked, of course I've seen Evil Dead. I've seen Evil Dead 1, and I've seen Evil Dead 2, and I've seen Army of Darkness. I have not seen the TV show, and I've not seen the new reboots. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. How many raids from other factions this week? Oh, I mean, worldwide? Probably dozens. But at least for us, not this week. Do you know about the Evil Dead Reanimator crossover comic? I do not. This was, that is news to me. If you close your eyes, could you hug SCP-096? Yes. But if you accidentally opened your eyes, you would die. So it's not something we're going to risk. Hazard, my mental health is fine. I just like horror movies. Leave it alone! Dr. Shrekman. Okay, that's a new one. Thank you very much. I found the area was a little harder on mobile, lol. Also, that 106 idea is awesome. Won't lie. If your shoots take a long time, I will cater for you. I'm a cook. Hey, craft services are a very important part of any shoot. So I appreciate the offer. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. How would the SCP contain something like Godzilla? Well, we do contain multiple kaijus, whether we use SCP-5514, the Dragon Slayer, which is our Jaeger, or some more, just keeping them isolated in a place where nobody can find them. Kaijus are containable by the Foundation in a multitude of ways. If you are blind, would SCP-173 attack? Yes. Do you know how the Berryman-Langford mimetic killing agent works? I just read SCP-9001, which has a deep explainer about a lot of things going on there. So if you want more information on that, read SCP-9001. Larry be going anime villain style. Yes, Dr. Moonston, exactly. SCP-106, otherwise known as the Old Man, otherwise known as Radical Larry. Yes. Sally just brought up Pizza Freak, and now I'm trying to think of the Pizza Freak short film. Because that's actually really easy to film. All you need is a guy who looks like a stereotypical Italian chef. And you can found footage that anywhere. If you do Pizza Freak, then essentially you're doing the Marble Hornets version. Except every time instead of Slender Man, it's a freaking Italian chef rushing you. And then you have interviews, like found footage interviews with people who are sick claiming to be dead. This is so low budget and easy to film. I'm putting Pizza Freak on my frickin' short film list. I could go to the city and do this. Wanted. Wanted. Actors for day shoot. Must be able to pull... One must be able to be a stereotypical Italian chef. Must have costume. By the way, we are at 100 minutes right now, which means we are 20 minutes from the end of stream, everyone. 20 minutes from the end of stream. Pizza Freak versus the racist Italian pasta. No! SCP al dente-J, why? No! I mean, that's also a very easy, low-budget short film, because all you need is a researcher in a room getting annoyed by the pasta. So you need one guy, a voice actor or two, and a bunch of pasta, possibly a sponsorship deal, because if we're advertising boxes of pasta, we might as well get some sponsorship money from it. Or make up our own pasta brand and be really funny about it. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. Some armed personnel raid my house screaming to secure the cassette. Well, destroy it at this point. Destroy it or get out of there and bring it in for containment. Have you made the tree scream yet? No, it has not screamed yet. But it will. Dr. Sherman, 05 cut the budget again. We're going to have to sell feet pic of SCPs on Facebook. God, ram it. I know you're joking, but the site budget did get cut again recently. Bunch of bunch of our stuff is being distributed to the Artificial Intelligence Applications Department. Fucking AI stealing art again. Stealing work. Sorry, I know the Artificial Intelligence Applications Division is doing good work. I just tired of seeing work recovered by work stolen from AI. Stolen by AI from actual people. Wave Wraith, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a jellied donut on your way past the commissary. Do you have friends at other sites? Well, of course I'm friendly with other staff at other sites. I mean, we're all very busy, so it's not as if we talk every day or anything, but I do that. AI is taking your job even at the Foundation. I frickin' know. And I don't trust those AIs. I don't know, man. Sussy. Sussy bakas, the lot of them. How fast does SCP-096 run? I believe we have a basic readout of that in the SCP-096 incident report. Moving at considerable speed. We have visual of the target at data expunged knots and increasing. For some reason, we saw fit to redact how fast it can run, which does make it harder for us to plan anything around it. Very annoying. So we don't know how fast it runs. Can you dream 096's face? Not physically possible, actually. Your brain makes up the faces you see in dreams out of faces you've seen in public. Either it just installs a person you already know, or it mixes together people you know's features. Since you've never seen 096's face, it's not in your dream. Therefore, you can't do that. It's just not how physical dreams work, scientifically speaking. So you don't gotta worry about it. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. Hey, can someone tell me what happened? My house is in shambles and I can't seem to remember what I have done in the last few hours. Is there a cassette tape with you? Is SCP Containment Breach actually accurate to the SCP Foundation? As far as I know, Containment Breach is actually quite faithful to the SCP lore, yes. I believe it to be very closely accurate, if I am not remembering anything wrong. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. What cassette are you talking about? Cool. A printout of the Hanging King's tragedy on tape is just floating around on Earth. Certainly nothing will go wrong with that. Greatest Noob, thank you for donating again. 682 is that's infinite food glitch if you're brave enough. I think it tastes rotten. If I remember right, there's a reason we don't eat 682. Why don't we eat SCP-682? I'm sure that's there. We do have a non-eating policy. So, yes. And it's more likely that the 682 pieces you separate will evolve into smaller 682s that will try to eat you rather than you getting to eat them. Ash, on tape. Thank you for donating again, but put that tape in a box. Put it in a box, bring it to your local site, do not watch it. What happened with 1471? We just keep banning the app and it keeps getting re-uploaded. So we're trying our best to keep it from being downloaded, that's all. What is SCP-096 like? Its face not being seen. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. A cassette of that I would remember if I had something like that. Oh shit. Were you amnesticized? Do you have signs of amnesticization? You should probably hydrate. Get some water. Have you heard of xenomorphs? Intern Bell, we were just talking about the movie Alien when we were discussing a idea for an SCP-106 movie just a little while ago, if you want to scroll back. Oh, multiple people have said this, but every time it's happened, I've been in the middle of talking, so my apologies to however many people told me. But Site42 staff, you got the like count above the viewer count by far. Congratulations, Mobile Task Force Sci-42 codename Signal Boosters. Because of your efforts, we are now stronger than ever, and YouTube will continue to bring us more new people who we will force into being SCP fans whether they like it or not. And so I appreciate you guys helping out and bringing the algorithmic joy to Site42. Signal Boosters never lose. Has a tornado ever hit Site42? We are based in Northern California. It's not exactly a tornado-dense area, so not something we super have to worry about, thankfully. Why did SCP-2 die? 682. Greatest Noob, thank you for donating again to give us that. Ow. I know nothing about SCP, but I still watch you because you are absolutely hilarious, dude. Well, thank you, intern Stars Love. That is quite the shocking thing, considering how much of my jokes are references to anomalies in the SCP containment. So I am glad you are enjoying it regardless. That's actually kind of shocking, but heartwarming. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. I drink a bit and try to remember something. The only thing I remember is a snake symbol. Is that bad? Well, the serpent's hand is moral enough that they probably won't broadcast the cassette if they are in claims of it. But if it is Ash that has that, then I'm very worried for their well-being. You have to worry about hurricanes at Site 40. Well, I don't know where Site 47 is. We're at Site 42. And here, we do not get hurricanes. You worry about earthquakes in the California area. Have you tried to hire a mimeticist to make your thumbnails? Well, yes, but after the failure of that one, we put a kibosh on that. It was not bueno. How long have you been an SCP fan? Oh, I have been making content for the SCP community for 10 years. It's YouTube Site 42's 10-year anniversary this year. And then I know before I was making YouTube content for about 2 to 3 years, I was using SCPs in my D&D campaigns that I was running. So therefore, it has to be at least 12 to 13 years. And if we get 5K members, desk, not subs, members. Yo, you're live. That's right, Cog. We are live for the next 3 minutes, and then stream is ending. So you made it right at the last literal minutes. Is the Magnus Institute a branch of the Foundation? No, they are a separate organization. And I must say, while their logs are fine enough, they're not doing nearly enough to combat the anomalous. So we don't approve of them because they are not doing enough. Odd song, what do y'all think about it? Well, the song you would be discussing if that's the case. I'm just checking the playlist real quick. Which one is playing? It's called Are We There Yet by Slowgramming. Are We There Yet by Slowgramming was the previous song. Gold Heart, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a hot link on your way past the commissary. Is the Foundation aware that the Wiccan populace is communicating with various gods from mythologies? Yeah, but they don't really talk back, so it's not that big a deal. The times when they do, though, that's when we make notice. This tape, not yours, Dr. Sherman. Okay, well, if it's music on your cassette, at least it's not the Hanged King's Tragedy. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Shadowless, thank you for donating again. Well, I will go to sleep. Wait, why are in hearing voice in my house again? I'm telling you, get out of there, man. There's too much going on. We got loads of gods, too many, in fact. Yeah, a couple of years ago, we accidentally turned the planets of the solar system into gods. So it's dealing with gods is all part of the MO around here, unfortunately. How does the Foundation deal with natural disasters like earthquake, tornadoes, and stuff like that? Well, we don't really fret about them unless they're going to attack a Foundation site and cause damage, and then we defend ourselves. But usually natural disasters, we just have to build our security strong enough to survive. Because that's not anomalous, so it's not our problem. Goldheart, thank you for donating again. Hate to tell you, but there have been a lot of talk. There have been talks, a lot. Well, with who? Report them in and we'll bring in the people who have managed to get good communique, but it's a lot less common than one would expect with how many people talk. And that is it, Site 42 staff. You have made it to the end of stream, which means I'm going to tell you my favorite SCPs, as in tradition around these parts. Now, of course, I'm not going to tell you that my favorite SCPs are the ones I personally wrote. That would be cheating. But if you want to read my SCPs that I have written, you can go to the Sherm's Site 42 hub and author page on the SCP Wiki. There you can see the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as given voice lines to, or sound effects. And one tab over from those links, there is in fact, one tab over from those SCPs, there's a tab full of links that people are often very, very intensely curious about to find, but they never seem to go through the effort to find them. And you know, that's just not good enough discipline to be a part of the SCP Foundation. Foundation staff would find the links. They would not leave any stone unturned, whether it's to find the anomalous or the links. So, while you're at those links, you can become a Site 42 Patreon patron or a YouTube channel member. Either way, we appreciate monthly donations. You could also do individual donations through the Ko-Fi or YouTube Super Chats. However you choose to donate to the Site 42 community, we appreciate your help keeping the lights on. And if you can't donate, reminder, we understand the broke gang's ways. We are an arts community. Starving artists are part of the project. So that doesn't mean you can't contribute. Every Dungeons and Dragons party needs fighters and mages and clerics, etc. So if you can't donate directly, but you are here in the chat, comment, liking the streams, and chatting. If you are watching our videos, liking and commenting, if you are sharing, subscribing, all that YouTube business, then you are a honored and valuable member of Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codename the Signal Boosters. And because of your intrepid efforts, Site 42's algorithmic sway gets larger and larger, and it allows us to bring people into the SCP fandom, thereby helping us to support the authors, artists, animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, etc., so we can get more excellent SCP projects. Amazon and Netflix will never touch SCP because they don't want to mess with the Creative Commons, so we have to do this ourselves. There have been several small live-action projects, and if we keep supporting those guys, they'll keep making bigger and bigger things. As we get bigger and bigger, we'll start making our own as well. It's going to be awesome, and Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codename Signal Boosters! It's all because of you. So thank you for your support and service. Also, before I list my favorite SCPs, Desk, thank you for gracing the chat here with 5 gifted memberships. If you got a membership from Desk, make sure to thank Desk for his generosity. Meanwhile, Goldheart, thank you for donating again at the last minute. Wiccans Talking with the Gods, of course there are, and we are going. Tell us which ones are making actual contact. Most of them don't get answers. So if they're getting actual conversations and you know they are, refer them to us. We'll figure out the situation and contain it. Meanwhile, Shadowless, thank you for your last minute donation. There's a woman in my house, but they all look alike. Should I be worried? You said a woman, but then you said they all look alike. What does that mean? Also, Shadowless, thank you for becoming a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Welcome to the green name side of the battle against the white names. So, from there, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, it is a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, 8980. Content warning on the last one, it's a rough read. Death in the Book. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Everyone in this chat, thank you so much for being here for today's Office Hours with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz. Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes and cutaway coat, perfect fits. Putting on the Ritz. Dressed up like $1 million trooper. Trying not to look like Gary Cooper. Super duper. Come, let's mix where Rockefellers walk with sticks or umbrellas in their mitts. Putting on the Ritz. The credit song is Putting on the Ritz by Taco. Be safe, be well, Site 42 fam. Secure, contain, protect.